Here we go.
It's the wild blue yonder.
That's right. It's just up there waiting for us. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Imagine an end to crime, an end to poverty.
Oh, shit. Hold on. My thing didn't start recording. Okay, let me do that again. 3, 2, 1.
Imagine an end to crime, an end to poverty. Imagine 2 million good jobs waiting to be filled. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? Well, sometimes dreams come true. Delta City, for our children. Kiss my freckled butt.
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind. This is episode 662. My name is Scott Johnson, and I'm joined today by Brian. RoboCop is fireproof Dunaway?
No, he's gay. Shoot him in the mouth. Oh, hi.
Hi.
This week on Film Sack, we big shoulder ninja check our way through a couple of good movies to make our way over to HBO Max for some probably ironic corporate mandated PG-13 kid-friendly robot cop action of the third right kind in this 1993 dystopic future sci-fi action sequel that's patrolling the mean streets of OCP controlled Detroit. Are you down with OCP? No, not me. Swan dive to my death now. Delete my cyber porn. It's inappropriate for this movie, but being a dick is okay apparently. Anywho. When this cyborg cop is not out glitching on the prime directives, he's back at the base spending his time docked into a charging station crying about it. Jeez, I don't need to see that face. Just get back to flying around the city looking like some kind of good for its time Ray Harryhausen shit. Oh, come on. This is like 6 months after Jurassic Park. I'll buy that for $1, and it looks like you did. Come on, Randy. Let's take to the skies and uphold the law. Don't forget the prime directives, though. Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, and uphold the jetpack safety guidelines. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Too many DBs.
Oh,
Too many DBs.
I really disliked the jetpack, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Also with us today, Randy, never call him Chum Jordan.
Aloha, Scott, Brian. Thank you for coming to this meeting of super evil megacorp. We're not happy until everyone is not happy. I'm your chief technology officer, Bob, and I'm here to walk you through our strategy for winning the war on other people living nearby. What it comes down to is we just want this town all to ourselves. We need some time alone without other people also living here. And yes, we like killing people. Who doesn't? But we'd also be okay if the people would just leave the whole town to us by going away. We're just introverts with guns and armor and a dream of completely empty neighborhoods in every direction. We can't make that dream come true until you fine fellows help us eliminate Ghost Cop, Alien Cop, Vampire Cop, and most importantly, an Irishman named Rob O'Cop. Rob O'Cop used to belong to us, but now he doesn't, thanks to technology. So we're going to use technology harder, as long as you follow these 3 rules. Number 1, when you're on a Zoom call with your overseas owner, you have to put him on the biggest screen imaginable. I'm talking a screen that when you turn it off, a garage door comes down over it. Okay. Number 2, but when you're on a Zoom call with your wife in your 25th floor suite office and you're about to kill yourself, tiny screen. It's like a screen that you bought for $1. Number 3, remember, we have the technology for you to search through biographies of people, complete with huge portraits of the people. But our search function makes you flip through each one. You can't start typing in their name or any of that crap. You have to flip through every person. Oh, crap. They're dead? Well, okay, we gotta lie to the kid. We have to lie to the kid. I'm sure no one will ever invent a search site that a child could use.
I mean, the chances are low.
Our parents went to live in a farm upstate.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, now we swing the mic over to Brian. They needed to make Mako this movie with more Mako Ibit.
I can always make more Mako.
Yeah.
And for those of you listening in the future and don't know, just getting over COVID, so sound a little scratchy today. So I decided to pick a song that only uses 4 notes. Yeah, somebody challenged Bruce Springsteen to see if he could write a song that only used 4 notes. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing saw some stuff.
Had to find a song with the vocal range that I currently have, and I still managed to not hit it.
I think you got it. I'm surprised. Actually super impressed. I think you deserve some credit. COVID's no joke, and you killed it. Nice job.
Yeah. Bruce Springsteen B-side. That was originally the B-side of Dancing in the Dark. It became a single. Bette Midler was going to release a cover version, and he said, no, screw that, and actually blocked her from releasing her own version of it because in a dick move, he said, it's not a girl song.
Oh, I love it.
It's a rare dick move from Bruce Springsteen, but
the boss.
He probably just doesn't like Bette Midler.
I was about to say.
Yeah, maybe they had a, who knows? You never know what these people do.
Midler, she has opinions. She's expresses them too strongly.
She's
in
a little
public.
firecracker, that Bette Midler.
Yeah. Maybe they were walking around a music award show and she, I don't know, tweaked his nipple on the way out or something.
Right,
I don't know.
Exactly. Hey, Brucey.
Hey, Brucey.
So then she got together with Mick and recorded Beast of Burden and had an even bigger hit than she would have with Pink Cadillac. Worked out just fine.
So in a way,
he did all right.
Yeah, and in a way, he did the nice thing for her. He helped her out.
He forced her into doing something better.
Well, good job. Yes. It's time for us to talk about RoboCop 3. This makes our RoboCop trilogy complete, by the way, the original trilogy.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, we could still do 4, or what is just rebranded as RoboCop.
Let's strap on our backpacks and get out of here.
Because there is the 2014 the Joel Kinnaman one? I think that's right.
I think you're right. Correct.
We sacked reboot.
That.
Did we sack it? I don't remember doing it. I remember seeing it. Maybe I saw it here. That might have been when I saw it.
Yeah, we sacked it pretty quickly after RoboCop 2, which is the weird part because we skipped 3.
Yeah, that's weird.
I conflate the reboot of RoboCop and the reboot of Judge Dredd.
Absolutely.
So much. I think just because of the dumb helmet that covers 3/4 of the face of Kinnaman and Urban. So you could describe a scene and I'd say, yeah, I'm not sure if that happened in the reboot of RoboCop or in the reboot of Dredd.
Well, one of them is great and one of them is good. One of them is okay, but one of them is great. And that one's being Dredd. Did we do Dredd here?
Yeah, I think we did Dredd here.
If we didn't do Dredd here, hold on. I need an excuse to watch
Urban.
So we did Judge Dredd for sure, but we have not sacked Dredd.
Yeah,
really?
Dredd.
Or you didn't spell it correctly, but I think we haven't sacked Dredd.
No, we haven't. I looked at with the other. I look at my files. We don't have anything else with Dredd in it.
I think we did it for recommendals or something, but we should put that on the list.
Yeah, Alex Garland, man, that guy made a cool ass thing that should have had a follow up or 12 and never did. Anyway, we'll get to that. But first, let's let Fake Fletcher explain what we're talking about today. You already know it's RoboCop 3, but we need the extra sauce. Here you go.
RoboCop 3! RoboCop saves the day once more! This time the half-man to half-robot takes on ruthless developers who want to evict some people on their land. Uppy Murphy does it again.
Uppy Murphy.
Is it me or is Fake Fletcher somehow adopting a British accent?
Yeah,
on the R's too.
Yeah. You got a little
rolling some R's. RoboCop 3, like Julia Child Mario.
Getting weirder every time I do it. Well, anyway, it is RoboCop 3, a movie I had not seen. I thought I hadn't. This was the first viewing of RoboCop 3, and I think the reason I didn't see it,
you would remember that kind of trauma. Trust me.
I think I'd completely blocked it out because I remember at the time going PG-13. Freaking, there's a cartoon coming. Okay, what are we doing? And I remember just being incensed that they were gonna soften up the movie.
RoboCop needs to be R, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's RoboCop's bread and butter.
Or it or PG. Like you don't like, you either need the real deal violence, or you're telling some like story about the evils of corporations working with cops. You know, like there's no in between here.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where we are.
Yeah, and this is a situation where they were told, the studio was like super pressure on the director. It's like, we need this to be more family friendly. They even put out, so this was an interesting bit of trivia that Dunaway will like, given his love of all things retro. But in the 1990 RoboCop 2 video game, on the Game Boy box in particular, it says coming in 1992. It got delayed, but coming in 1992, RoboCop 3 for all ages. And they weren't talking about the game; they were talking about the movie.
Yeah. And Frank Miller was rolling his eyes so hard.
I mean, he did the script still, but they trimmed so much stuff that would have been harder.
He wrote it. I think if I remember correctly, didn't he write like 2 and 3 like at the same time? And 2's pretty violent.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of like, just melted this one down and said, well, what if we really focused on the kid aspect part of it and just kind of made it like he's kind of taking care of the kid, and he's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Frank Miller distanced himself from this series because of 3, and he was like, "I'm not doing this anymore. I'm out." Though. Did he?
He came back. He didn't do the theater. He was done with. He hated Hollywood for good reasons. But he came back. He made this into a comic series, right? This story?
No, yeah, he did that in the first place, but he never
did afterwards.
Oh, maybe, but he never came back. What I'm saying is he never came back to the film franchise. That was it.
Oh yeah. He was done.
He was done with that. It didn't do well either. It's like all these kind of problems with this thing. It's not even the same actor. You don't have Peter Weller back. You got this other guy.
I gotta say, the other guy did okay. Robert John Burke. He's got enough of a face when you peel his face like that. He looks pretty close.
A little bit, yeah.
So let me drop a bomb. I think this is better than RoboCop 2. I liked it. I liked it a lot more than the second movie.
Can we go around and agree or disagree with that? Because I think it's much better than RoboCop 2.
Yeah, markedly better.
I think it's so different. I don't even compare the two. It's like it's so different. It's really hard to say which one is better because you can't judge it by the same.
All right. Well, which one would I rather sit down and watch again over 2 or 3? I'd take 3.
Well, I just watched 3 last night, so I'm definitely gonna go with 2 right now. But if you give it a couple of years and you're like, hey, let's watch this, and this, and if I'm feeling like I kind of want to watch that weird one with all the TV actors. It's like there was so many TV actors in this
with 3/4 of must-see TV appearing in it.
Yeah. Bill Daltrey was in there.
Yeah, it was nice seeing Stephen Root in a thing that's totally un-Stephen Root-like.
George Costanza's Moley boss.
Yeah. That guy's great. He was also, I always like to note that he was the devil in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, the guy at the end with the sunglasses with flames in it. Yeah,
that's funny.
I don't think I remember that.
He had a very sad ending. That dude. He had cancer and like advanced diabetes, all these kind of problems, and he tried.
Oh my gosh!
This actor tried to kill himself not too many years ago, and missed, but hit himself enough to cause severe damage. So there's like a 911 call. It's a really sad story. He eventually passed away, but that poor dude, I just felt bad for him. Anyway, but it was interesting to see him a CCH pounder in this thing running around.
Yes.
Leading the rebels, or what was her name? Dolores? Or?
It was Bertha. What a weird name.
Yes,
Bertha.
Yeah.
And what's her face from Jill Hennessy from Crossing Jordan? Always love seeing Jill Hennessy.
She's great.
Yeah, she's great.
I think of her. I always forget
Lazarus, right? Lazarus. Yes. Geez, once you hammer her on the head, this hits her.
Yeah, exactly. Wonder if she is gonna contribute to the storyline at all, and how.
Yeah, she was. I always think of her just from Law and Order, but I guess I never saw. What was Crossing Jordan?
Crossing Jordan.
She did a lot of TV stuff.
That was Crossing Jordan was a big deal, right? That was a big popular show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You also got your Mako or Mako. I'm not sure how you say his name.
He's so great here.
Yeah, I love him. Just saw a MASH episode with him, but he's so great. And my daughter has a giant poster of Aku, the bad guy from Samurai Jack. He used to voice him, and has his signature on there, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, before he died, but yeah.
I just really love there's a point in this movie where we're like, we think the audience might be tired of reading subtitles whenever Mako speaks, so we're just going to add this universal translator Or just have a universal
So
translator. Have
oddly-
someone else do his lines.
Yeah, so inconsistent. It's like, no, we're going to subtitle all this, but then this one section, we're going to do this weird translation thing, Google Translate of the future.
It's very odd, right? It's like a
Is
weird,
it?
weird choice. Yeah.
And by the way, the trope of the big bad is far away, so he has to send a henchman, halfway around the world to commit a bunch of crimes. Like, I'm not even mad at that. Like, I really like that trope. Apparently,
especially here, I will say the star of this one for me is the robot ninja. Because man, when they the effects they did with the makeup they did with the face, I mean, it's stupid, but my God, it's effective.
Yeah,
it's so good, and the jaw thing coming off and having to move it back and forth, like that's apparently where they spent their money, was prosthetics and robots and whatever to make those two big special effects happen.
Yeah,
it makes sense. It made sense because they had done the first two. They'd done stop motion to animate the things, and of course I
like
did
Ed
mention
209 especially. Yeah.
Yes, like Ed 209. He's back, by the way. Criminally underused. Underused. But yeah, but they it looks out of place after Jurassic Park, of course. But then they just this makeup work that just made up for it. In my
biggest complaint about the movie is that the good guys come into the control of Ed 209. They come into control really these two massive guns, like a mech suit wearing two machine guns, and they don't spend the rest of the movie, just using it.
I feel like I it's been so long since I've read the comic that kind of is the similar material. I for some reason I have in my head I can see the girl riding on top of Ed 209 controlling it, and I don't know if that's a dream that I had because I wanted it so
dream
badly.
I have it now,
or if it was in the actual comic. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've even looked at that. So but why didn't they do it? Where's our Ed 209 in the bucket? He just. You don't get the nuclear option and then just leave it behind.
It just felt like they were. That was weird fan service. It's like, hey,
loved it.
Remember Ed 209? Check it out, because I don't think Ed 209 made an appearance in 2. I think 2 was free. Was 209 free?
No, that was what was the thing coming up the elevator? What was that? Not 209. Oh my God! Now I feel like I haven't watched RoboCop.
It was something else, right? It was like an advanced. It was like next stage, but Ed 209 as a model, I don't think showed up again until this.
I think you might be right. I'm trying to remember.
The other thing too with the Jurassic Park thing, I'm with you. Like, that's a weird year to see something this poorly special effected compared to that. But it was actually filmed in 91. They didn't release it. Until 93 because the production company Orion Pictures was going bankrupt. I don't know what ended up happening with that.
I used to get excited about Orion films. There was a time when I would see that logo come across the screen and I'd be like, "Oh, an Orion film. Very exciting. It's going to be good."
Were they the A24 of
I wouldn't say that, but it was I always knew it was going to be a good time when I saw that. I was like, "Oh, okay, they're not going to take themselves too seriously and this is just going to be a wild romp, a good time."
Yeah. I kind of had the same thing. Like what it felt like a prestige experience was coming your way when you saw the Orion logo.
Oh, that wasn't my thing. Like, whenever there were all these studios that they ended up getting sucked up by the big studios, right? But like until then, when you saw the studio card at the beginning of the movie, and I'm thinking of like Carol Co. The Carol Co. C. I always thought, oh, this is a middle of the road movie. This is not. There's nothing prestigious about to happen here. I'm about to see something, that is like for general audiences.
Yeah, I could see that. Also, just speaking of general, this is such a weird one. There's a piece of trivia here that says Michael Dudikoff. Remember that dude from lots of things, but mostly I think of him from Bachelor Party and American Ninja, which I think we saw here. Anyway,
did we see that here?
I thought we saw American Ninja. No, am I thinking it back in the?
We did. I'm not going to. Let's not talk about it. Let's move on.
We don't want. You don't want to know. American Ninja. I can find out. No, we have not. I thought we did. Anyway, He was supposed to be the replacement for RoboCop for Murphy. It was actually It was given the role. He claims he passed on the role in favor of respecting his mentor at the time, Peter Weller. This doesn't hold up to me. It gives me a little bit of scrutiny. Because Peter Weller says that the reason he wanted to do it again, but he couldn't because he was doing that naked lunch thing, and he
was naked. He couldn't do it.
They couldn't get the schedules worked out, and so I can't tell what that means. I don't know. Like the guy they got looks just like Peter Weller. Like his face is creepy.
Very
good.
close, yeah.
It's all you really need, because I mean, otherwise, all you got to do is just go. Merp, 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 and,
I
like,
wish
do
his
the robot
I wish
for 2
his
hours,
voice
right?
was a little closer. A little closer voice would have been nice, but
Yeah,
yeah.
He was attempting it. He didn't try to dig too deep, but you could tell he was kind of talking like the Operator Murphy kind of thing.
He weirdly looked more like Peter Weller when they had the face mask off than when you just saw the lower part of his face. Like the lower part of his face would be like, oh yeah, it's totally not Peter Weller. But then when they had things off and they had like his, like the bald head and stuff showing, it's like, God, it kind of looks like Peter Weller there.
And they were really careful with it too, because our first introduction to actually seeing his face, they intentionally set the scene so that he had been burned up. Shoot him in the mouth. I love that part.
Right.
That was so great. Those punks trying to like shoot him in the mouth. They didn't pull it
bullets.
off.
The androids eat bullets or cyborgs.
but yeah, so it was kind of even harder to tell, even though you're seeing his face, and they slowly dipped you into it. And it's like, by the time I was done, I never even care whether it was Peter Weller or not. It was just like, okay, watch a RoboCop.
Yeah. And it's a good reminder that, well, I don't know. I think it at the time, part of my judgment of not seeing it and being all snooty about it was partially because, he's not in it. Why am I going to see RoboCop with no Peter Weller? I mean, what a dumb thing to care about with RoboCop. I should have just gone.
And not really. It makes sense. I remember when I first watched RoboCop, people were very excited about Peter Weller, and I'm like, I don't know who Peter Weller. I don't know who that is. What is that? I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine, but he's just got to walk around out like a robot and look sad while not being sad.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right.
I'll tell you, one of the reasons I like this one more than two is that RoboCop has a couple of really good lines, and I started to like root for him to come onto a scene and then, before causing destruction, tell people what he was about to do, or warn them, or you should get out of the back room, like that kind of thing. I don't know why. I just found that really super entertaining. Like it's third movie stuff. It was like Rocky 3 has kind of the same vibe, where you're like, everybody knows everything, so we may as well just play the hits.
A couple of bad one-liners, things like that, are to be expected, but for the most part I agree, he's just fine. Like the whole thing is, if anything, it's the surprise that Rip Torn's in this and is playing sort of sub-boss Rip Torn, and Rip Torn is always good. He elevates the material. So for me, this was more like a fun parade of, here are all these people I know from other shit, and look at them go. And that was fun. Look at him
go. When does anybody exit a stage better than Rip Torn? I mean, when he left, I was just like,
bye, enjoy owning OCP.
Dude, Ibbot, that's a good Rip Torn, dude. That's really good.
I've never tried to do a Rip. I guess I need to have COVID to be able to do a Rip Torn.
That was really good. I captured some great audio from him, but he just, whenever that guy's around, I pay attention. And so I was like pleasantly surprised by the cast, and then pleasantly surprised by some of his little cheeseball drama, like what's her name dying early.
Uselessly, Officer Lewis. That is my hugest complaint about this movie, is the wasted death of Officer Lewis. She doesn't, there's no dramatic like setup. It's like, we need to kill Officer Lewis to move RoboCop forward, I guess. So just have a shooter.
How confusing it got too, because I wondered about that too. I was like, something's going weird here, because she was written out of the story in some way or form, because they have a moment when RoboCop is recharging after getting hurt or something. I forget. Anyway, there's like a moment where they're like doing this morph thing, where it goes from that was my wife.
Here are all the hot chicks I knew.
Yeah, now it's Officer Lewis. No, now it's the new lady, is Lazarus.
Right. Right. It's weird. So that was such a weird. Yeah, it was such a weird morph thing, like use of morph. It's like, we need some way to use morph. We have this. How can we use it for
Yeah.
this movie? How about he just remembers all the women in his life?
Right, but why? Why? But what did it mean to actual RoboCop? Is what I was trying to figure out. I mean, because of loss? Is he? And now he's like,
guess.
I don't
Oh,
know, Is it
dude.
because
Except
he's
he didn't lose the new lady, right? He
Yeah.
didn't lose Jill Hennessy, Lazarus.
This
reprogramming. Must
this
must
movie
know.
did a thing that all the movies have kind of done, but this movie really leaned into the Batman lost his parents in the alleyway storyline,
Yeah.
What's the
and
motivation?
also and combining that with what was I going to say? There's a whole other thing. Terminator 2, Judgment Day with the ninja robots, and they look more human and are more advanced and all that. And they were clearly playing on a couple of those tropes. And for whatever reason, I was kind of in the mood for it. Like I was okay, I was down, and I had
It's a check your brain at the door, low expectations, and you'll be satisfied kind of thing. Is this? You were the only one of the four of us that's seen it before, right, Brian?
Me, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. If I had to guess.
Randy, have you watched it before? Or is this your first?
Maybe this is really forgettable stuff.
Oh,
Like,
and
it's
it's
super forgettable.
It's real safe TV too, right? You have to do almost zero editing.
I was actually
Put this on
trying to
TV.
figure out why it's so forgettable, and I think it's because there's three factions in this movie, right? There's the super evil megacorps, and then there's the people, and then there's the punks.
Yeah,
and the people kind of swell and fall, but there's not a people and punks get together and really rally moment. There's just a lot of like carnage in the streets, and I just I don't know, like you just mentioned Nancy Allen's character dying. Like, why was she standing in front of RoboCop?
Why?
No,
No. She was standing in front of him because RoboCop was using her as a human shield. I thought that whenever he stepped to the side, I'm like, wait, he's up high. They're going to shoot him here. No, he's going to stand right behind Nancy Allen. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. She gets murdered here because he uses it as a human shield.
She's a cop. Like she's an experienced cop. Why would she not duck for cover when all these guns are pointed at her? And it just like, of course, I'm going to forget that. Like 5 months from now, I'll have no memory of that because it just doesn't. It's not memorable.
Yeah.
Here's what I thought. Immediately thought, oh my God, they're going to kill her, and then she's going to be Mrs. RoboCop. Like they're going to put her in a suit as well. To try and set up a fourth movie, which is going to be the two of them fighting crime together.
And for a minute, it's been years since I've watched this, and for a minute, I also went with that. I was like, wait a minute, did she become Lady RoboCop or something? And I'm like,
I wanted that. I still want it so bad, but obviously,
it's
once
not.
Again, I think you're a fever dream from the comic. I can't remember.
Yeah, but you're right to think it because it seems like a perfect opportunity, and I think they should have maybe gone that way. But
they
part
wrote
of
all the other tropes.
If they would have had a stinger back in 1993, then they would have stuck them, putting showing Nancy Allen on an operating table and then putting a metal helmet on her head or something.
Yeah, the part of the problem was budget. They used the suit the third time now. This is the same suit. They kept recycling it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that sounds gross. That seems awful being in that state.
Why do they have the big toe separated out from the rest of the foot on that thing? It seems like the most unnecessary. Like, all right, we need to create some bevels and edges and
Yeah,
probably can wear thongs.
It makes you feel a little bit like he has hooves.
Yeah, like he's
I knew he was in trouble because, like I said, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I knew he was in trouble when they explained away why this rich snob guy who got smacked by cop cars, right? He was trying to go through the red light that had been changed, and so he got hit. And he had a modern car for the time of the film of the filming of the movie, and he gets out and he's got like this weird tie going on because it's the future. And then he's talking about he just traded in his modern super cool car for this classic and you hit it. And I'm like, oh, so we're going to explain away the reason why we're having old cars in this rich guy. They're not even they can't even be bothered to make time cop level future cars.
Yeah.
Cop.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. Oh, dude, I could go for some Time Cop. I know we watched it, but
Yeah.
I could too.
I liked it.
You saying that makes me feel how much I feel like the Cybertruck would feel so at home in this movie.
Oh, it would be perfect. That's the good idea. We should use some AI to put that right in there.
Just
Yeah.
put Cybertruck right in the film and
Let's
be
get
like,
that going.
it was all like
All
Mandela
along.
effect. No, it was always in there.
Yeah, it never wasn't in there.
Jesus.
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw Jeff Garland eating all those donuts.
Oh,
at
yeah.
Did you see that? That was weird.
Best line, I think he has the best line in the film. So what's it like being a rocket scientist?
Yeah.
That was great.
It's weird
Doesn't
seeing
expect
him.
a bunch of cops in a donut shop.
Speaking of who's in the movie and all the movies, so here is your list of cast members who have been in every RoboCop movie up to that point. Nancy Allen, of course, as Ann Lewis, Officer Ann Lewis. Robert DeCoy as Sergeant Reed, so he's the checking checks that your car can't
You
cash
love
guy.
to love him.
Mhm.
Felton Perry, who played OCP's Johnson.
Yeah.
He played as Johnson. I'm playing OCP Johnson.
Shut up, Johnson.
Shut up,
I
Johnson.
hope you captured some of that.
I did. He's amazing. I love their interactions. Mario Manchado, he's the news anchor. Casey Wong, he's always been the news anchor. And let's see, Angie Bowling, Murphy's wife, she came back for some of those flashbacks. Are the only people
I was about to say, was
Yeah.
that updated footage or was that just the same old recycled stuff?
This claims she came back and filmed stuff, but
All right,
Interesting.
take
Okay.
it for whatever you take IMDb credit or trivia for.
Right.
It's possible they're wrong on that, but anyway, it's also obvious to me, even though I've only been to Atlanta 3 times, and 2 of them were purely for airplane stopover and then get back on kind of thing, so I didn't get to see the city. And then one other time we did. It was obvious to me that this was not Detroit. This looked like Atlanta the whole time.
This was so a little bit of real life bleeding into your dystopic future sci-fi film. They were actually this area was being demolished for the Olympics, which is very timely for us now. Right there at it, it's like, hey, we're getting rid of all these people in real life, and we're gonna blast this area so we can make room for the Olympics.
Yep.
Let's make a movie about it.
I did have feelings. Like there's a scene of the purely destroyed neighborhood, and I was like, wow, I wonder how they dressed this whole set. This is like I was imagining like people like carting in tons and tons of rubble. You know, like of course, they just filmed it in a place that had just been destroyed. That makes sense.
De-gentrifying the area or whatever.
De-gentrifying.
But also, I don't know when the big switch over to everybody filming everything in Atlanta happened, but it feels like this was early
in that. Yeah.
Definitely does.
Yeah,
That pink Cadillac was right from locally purchased though.
The last
Absolutely.
5 years, guys, it has been so weird to put on Cobra Kai, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is set in the valley out west of LA, and then you see Peachtree Street, and I'm like, oh, okay, no,
Oh, really?
so
They
much.
don't even film. So they film Cobra Kai in Atlanta as well.
yeah, absolutely, but they intersperse the B-roll of Los Angeles all the time. It's just whenever the kids are outside, you're like, "Ooh, that's Atlanta."
Every season feels like the last season to me. So I guess is this really the last season that just dropped?
That's the alleging notion that it's the last. I don't know, man. I'm like, they could just keep doing this forever. You know,
You'd be all right with it. You'd be cool with the eternal.
Well, it's just that the lead actors, like, they have nothing else. They'll never have anything else. So you have to to do more.
You have to give them what they have to get what they can get. I get that.
Yeah.
Well,
Something wrong with that.
the good news around Atlanta is it's cheap, and so you can make your movie or your TV
they
show
got
cheap.
that infestation
Toronto.
of The Walking Dead, so makes it super cheap.
That's right.
Yeah, permanent extras. You just
Yeah.
put some
Speaking
clean
of
clothes on the
extras,
zombies, and you've got extras.
speaking of extras, man, they straight up did not even try with these street punks. It's just like, it was great. I loved it. There was no real. It literally felt like they said, okay, casting call. We need some, need some background people milling around. Let's just,
They all just look like Johnny. There was like Johnny Rotten cosplay gone awry.
Yeah.
It was like just constant, like, hey, what's the punk aesthetic? Okay, those are our people, and they're kind of. I guess they're drug addled or whatever. And notice nobody brought up the word nuke, like not even once. Nobody's talking about that drug anymore.
Which is, I guess, are we supposed to think that they've cleaned up? We've given up on Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, and moved right on to Delta City, and no more drugs. We've got that problem solved.
It's something, like I could only assume that those crazy people were on drugs, but they never. It's almost like they went, that nuke thing didn't go well, so don't bring up nuke.
Yeah,
I had to turn on. I had to turn on closed caption with those two guys. So the guys that were wanting to shoot him in the face, shoot him in the mouth. Because I was like, I heard them saying words, but I did not recognize any of the words.
Right.
And so I said, closed caption time. And it was, clock it, Jack. Megazone invasion. Papa Trank. Hypo head. Splatterville is ours.
Wow.
And I was like,
wow.
Spiderville. Fantastic.
Splatterville.
Yeah. Splatterville.
Wouldn't it have been interesting if the script had kind of like focused on their struggle, the struggle of the punks, and like if they had been like people instead of these caricatures of drug addicts, like it just could have been a really, really interesting script.
They're like Reavers from
I think
Firefly.
It probably might have been in the script, and it just got. I don't know. This movie absolutely feels like they started making this movie and said, I think we're going to make this a made-for-TV movie, and then somewhere along the lines they said, maybe this is a little bigger than a made-for-TV movie. Maybe we can give it a try, and it just feels like it was still a made-for-TV.
That's so what it reminded me of, like made-for-TV sci-fi in the 80s. Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers and things like that. Like the sets felt like that really thin plastic over concrete kind of thing.
I don't think, and it wasn't more. I think it was the most obvious during the car chase scenes. That felt more like TV car chase scenes in any movie from the the early 90s. Well, that's all theory.
No, it's a good theory though. I'm just convinced that studio interference and low budget were the two things that hurt it the most, because interference meant that they couldn't, tell a story with the grit that we're used to from the series.
Right.
And I think that's still a mistake. I think the movie would have been better hard R, and you stick to that stuff. It's like, part of its legacy. But on the other hand, if you got no money to really go for it, you either need to tell a different story with less things like backpacks and green screens and explosions that look like shit and all that. Like, don't worry about those things. Instead, just tell like a closer to the ground kind of gritty cop story. I think I could have gone for that. But after all said and done, somehow it manages to still be better than 2 for me. So, they did something right. I don't know what.
I still can't say that it's better than 2 for me. But once again, I really can't say, if you said either or, I'd be like, I can't choose. They're both different flavors. They're not even close.
Well, the good news,
catch me on that day.
The good news is you have both, and that's good. But if I'm picking which one I'd rather watch with somebody, and I guess this one I could watch with a more general audience. You
could watch, just about anybody. What is the 13 for? Is it because of drug? They don't even show drug use. And most of the killings off screen or implied. Is it just the
It's just the
implied.
Yeah, it's just
shooting
violence.
of guns. Lots and lots of shooting of guns.
Yeah, and cops being shot, and just some of these concepts. It doesn't surprise me. It's like I still think some movies are just ridiculously. The rating is applied so weird. So like Fury Road, for example, is a PG-13 movie, rated R movie. There's really nothing in it other than implied ideas and concepts and a lot of violence, but none of it is like outside the range of your, Lord of the Rings or your other PG-13 level films. But this stuff's just applied inconsistently, right? This one definitely didn't feel like it had anything in it where I would have gone, oh, you need an R rating for that. Like, there was no real blood and guts. The most disturbing thing was the ninja robot's face and trying to jigger it.
I still say that is something that I will never forget. That is just something that really stands out in this film.
And rewatching clips of that afterwards, the actor did a great job of making that grimacing, smiling face right before he gets shot by RoboCop, so that his face, quote unquote, freezes like that. It's such a great moment of him like about to attack RoboCop and then making that face and then getting frozen like that, basically.
Well, it's also very it just is discordant because he's essentially, it's like that movie Smile. He's just smiling and he can't help it because that's his robot face and he's stuck there now that he's been hit.
That's your robot face.
And that's just how you're going to be looking at me. And
Yeah.
I don't like it. It made me feel weird.
Creepy.
Yeah. And therefore, good effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
They said the trivia says they hired that dude because he looked like a Japanese action figure.
He does. He really does.
Totally does. Yeah.
Can I have a trope alert there?
Always. Hold on. There you go.
The trope is best weapon is katana. But apparently in this universe, if you have a particular katana, you can cut through anything. You can cut through steel. You can cut through like the supports of a building. You know, like and in the end, the two Otomos kill each other with the katanas. They each have the
Yeah, this is also the first one of these that they tried to sell action figures with. So the first two movies had none of that. Okay. Yeah, let me give you this thing. Wow. And that's when they launched the kids cartoon, and like they were clearly trying to repurpose this character to sell action figures.
I do remember this.
Yeah. It was just the way of it.
I believe you brought a gun to a katana fight.
Yeah.
It's a really amazing trope. Like if you really think about it, the infinitely sharp katana trope, it's like in a lot of movies. Like, you know, like it's movies that feature it, like Kill Bill, and then movies that you might not even think, like The Bodyguard has this. But like, for my money, The Matrix Reloaded is the one. It's where Morpheus spawns in a katana that can cut through a car. That's my best example.
Right. That's your go-to. I like that one. Oh yeah, he did spawn it in, didn't he? It wasn't just there. Yeah. Magic. That kind of bugged me about the Matrix, because when that sort of thing would happen, I'd go, well, then there are a lot of opportunities you needed to be doing that. You know what I mean? Like there are some moments in this movie where I'm like, does Agent Smith even get you if you get two katanas out of nowhere and slice them in half? Like,
but it's really hard to do apparently. So, you know.
Yeah,
kids trying to bend spoons with their minds. Apparently, it's really hard to do.
All right, I think they undersold that capability, but
right. I don't know. That one guy, what was it, the architect? He went on and on. I was like, oh Jesus, shut up. But yeah.
This one tried to go back and reference something by reversing it. And the old movie, he says, "What's your name, son?" And he says, "Officer Murphy," and he walks away. And then this one, they said, "What's your name?" And he goes, "My friends call me Murphy, but you call me RoboCop," and then roll credits. It was like
the music starts playing. They made use of the music. It was good.
It was good. But if you look at screenshots, Paul Verhoeven has a style to his stuff.
Oh yeah,
that neither of the follow-ups matched. Like they just didn't come close to what to his vision.
Is look at the box art. Have you ever seen the box art for RoboCop 3? I mean, it is just
I don't think I have.
Absolute trash, because they take a still shot, it looks like, from the opening scenes of the movie where they're showing that 3D flyover, and it's just a dream, and this is the future, and it's terrible.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Ooh, geez, that looks like shit.
I'm a cracker.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Right?
I don't like it. No, I don't. You know what's better? All the video game box art for 3 was pretty good.
The video game stuff is good.
Yeah,
I couldn't get my kid to watch this movie. And that really surprised me, because not too much. Like, he's 14, and I tried to watch it right after he had just sat and watched 4 hours of Olympic fencing. But I put on RoboCop 3.
Social services on you right now.
Yeah.
Right. I put on RoboCop. Look, we like fencing, okay? I put on RoboCop 3, and the very first bits were probably the worst visuals in the movie. But we didn't know that at the time. And I started the movie, and my child just stands straight up and walks out of the room. Wow.
Like Rip Torn at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome. By the way, I found somebody did somebody dug up some of the concept art for the original RoboCop. I'd never seen this stuff before. I'm going to share this with you. This is awesome.
Get it.
Like, how cool is that,
that's
dude?
Nice.
Now
That's nice.
That's
That's really cool.
That's Murphy with a bunch of scars they decided not to have on his face, but I think I could go for that. Look at that. That's
Oh,
badass.
absolutely. It
Totally,
makes more
like,
sense, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Wow,
awesome?
that is so Peter Weller looking too. That looks great.
That dude, does anyone have higher cheekbones, more prominent forehead, and a longer chin? I mean, my gosh.
Nope. Just this Robert John Burke. He's the only one that comes even close.
Yeah. Feels like the right call, because who else are you gonna get? I'm looking at him now. He's kind of normal looking now. But he's got he's got that face. And I'm sure they hired him for that reason. And we've seen him in something else. Did we see Thinner?
Thinner. I don't know if we watched it for Film
He does
Sack,
that
but,
really good because he looks really. He did a really good part in that too. Smart.
I can't remember if we did Thinner. I want to say we did.
I watched
we
it.
did. We
Since
definitely
we
did.
started doing it.
We definitely did.
We absolutely
okay.
saw
2017.
Oh,
there it
we had
is.
the whole discussion about gypsies versus wanderers versus Romani. All that came up in that episode.
Yep. Oh, right. Now I'm looking at screenshots. I remember this stuff.
Yeah.
What a weird.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was in Tombstone too. I don't remember.
That was
that
a weird
much, though.
movie, dude. Was Thinner Thinner wasn't a Stephen King thing, right? Or
Yeah,
Correct.
Thinner was.
was it? Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember. Sorry.
Also,
you
an
were saying.
actor named Daniel von Bargen was in Thinner.
Oh, Daniel von Bargen.
Oh, the Moley, George Costanza's Moley boss again.
Oh, yeah. He's in him. Wow, he got around. If you want to be really depressed, seek out his story. It's not great. It's very sad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Him shooting
Does
himself
it
in the
involve
head.
a mole?
No, it's just that him shooting himself in the head is awful.
Oh, geez.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, like all these people, like, what's his face?
Didn't I just tell that? I thought I told that story at the top of the show. Did I not tell that story? You guys are acting like I just mentioned it for the first time. But yeah, a guy shot himself, missed, or injured himself, tried to kill himself, couldn't quite pull it off, had horrible cancer. It was like, on his last leg.
Yeah, you mentioned that part, but I don't remember you mentioning the shooting part. Maybe I missed that.
No.
Yeah, like
I remember the rest of it though.
911 call, all that. I swear I said all that. I might be going crazy.
No, I don't think you mentioned most of it, but not the shooting part. You left out that you didn't lead.
You buried the lead.
Yeah, he buried the lead. Bradley Whitford shot himself in this one, apparently off screen. He
Off screen, yeah.
Oh yeah,
he said he was going to do it.
Another actor was about to have a moment. He was let's see, this would have been 91. They filmed this. Another 5 years, he'd be on.
He was the most.
West Wing.
He did. Boy, I mean, his performance actually was pretty outstanding because you really hated him. I mean, they made this character in a movie full of bad guys. He really stood out. He really stood out as, oh my God, this guy's a dick.
Yeah, he's good at that though.
Yeah.
And he's also good at, like, you're not sure how big of a dick he is until he's a bigger dick. Like he's in Handmaid's Tale. He's very good in that. He's really good in Get Out. He plays the dad.
Oh yeah.
And he's got that mix of, he's friendly and affable, but there's something weird percolating just under the surface, right? This is the more cartoony thing in RoboCop, but he's really good at that. I think Bradley Whitford's underrated. I like that actor a lot.
And he's a Brooklyn Nine-Nine connection this week.
Oh.
I didn't know we did those. Cool.
Is that our new?
I've just finished all 8 seasons, and I can't get over how many people shuffle through that show. Like it's insane how many different people they manage to get in different roles. He's the main character, Andy Samberg's dad in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
Guess what? He plays a jerk, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
How many Rip Torns is this? I know we did. What's the one with that guy? The guy could talk to animals. I can't remember.
You know what? That's it. It's just Beastmaster is the only thing.
Oh,
we've
really?
We
seen.
never did MIB?
No, we could,
Really?
but we haven't. That might be fun. Go back to. I like those movies.
Is there any other actor who's got a name that is a verb and then a past tense version of that verb?
Right.
Well, his real name is Elmore Rural Torn Jr. So the Torn part is, I feel like it's even more legit if your last name is already Torn, and then you're like, you know what? It'd be great. How about Rip with 2 P's? Let's go.
Torn.
Or I guess it's just 1 P.
Yeah,
I'm double downing on the thing I do.
Yeah. I always think it's 2 P's for some reason. It sets them apart.
It should be 2 P's.
Yeah.
I do like names. Like, there's something about when you got a name like Bryce Dallas Howard. I'm like, okay, I have a feeling that you're talented. I don't know why, just based on the name. You know,
That's interesting.
it's just like every time I hear the name Channing Tatum, my brain lights up. Like,
How
How
about
does-
um?
How
Yeah,
does
Channing.
CCH Pounder as Bertha hit you? Is that
I
good?
love CCH
Bertha?
Pounder, and I love that for like 25 years you either got CCH Pounder or Alfie Woodard, never at the same time.
Mm.
And they were like both born the same year, and I feel like CCH Pounder has more gravitas and Alfie Woodard has more surprise.
Is CCH Pounder the largest entree that you can buy at Charlie's Cheeseburger Hut?
Yes,
Maybe.
yes. You can get, and if you can eat the whole thing, they'll put you on a wall,
Like
and
put your name on the wall.
Yeah.
You completed the CCH Pounder.
it does sound like a big ass burger, doesn't it?
It
Like
does.
one of those ones that they would bring out on that stupid History Channel show where the guy would just go around and do eating contests.
Where, what is that? Somebody eats food, or Man versus Food.
Man versus Food. I used to watch that like bad.
I
It was
did
it was
too.
like bad addicting garbage. It was such a
Yes.
stupid
It was the
thing.
same stupid quick cut that they use for Fieri's stuff, like where it's like never more than 1 second on any given shot.
Yeah, those editors. I can't tell if I want to be those editors. I would hate being those editors because
Oh,
it must be a lot
so
more
much
work, right? You're just having to cut.
Maybe you've got some sort of tool that automatically takes your video and automatically chops it into 1 second cuts, and you just pick and choose the ones you want in some particular
Yeah,
order.
give it
By
some
the way,
backing music and you're done.
CCH Pounder's full name is Carol Christine Hilaria Pounder. So she really is like it's
CCH.
really her initials,
Mm, got the-
CCH Pounder.
Wow.
The 4 names, and she's also a second-time film sack. We only have seen her before in Face Off.
Oh, that's cool.
Right, another movie where we're taking the faces off. Nice.
Yeah,
She's so prolific in
you didn't
television.
See,
that-
End of Days on here, huh?
no.
Not
We
yet.
talked about
Not
it.
yet. It's I'm
want it.
trying.
So, Randy, let me school you, or not school you, ask you a question. You mentioned that certain names in Hollywood, you go, oh, they're talented just because the name sounds good. If you hear the name Scoot McNairy, what do you think?
Oh, see, that sounds like a race car driver. That doesn't sound like an actor.
Totally does. Yeah. Good call.
That's a good call. Yeah,
It also sounds a tiny bit like an old-timey baseball player.
Yeah, a little bit. I really like him, so this is not me. Just for listeners' sake, I'm not, throwing anything at Scoots
How about
McNairy.
when
But
you hear the name January Jones?
Love that. Oh, I love
Great
January
name.
Jones, the name, so
Yeah.
much.
So much better than the
Oh,
actual
yeah.
acting.
is she?
Yeah.
Is that her real name? Do we know? January. Let's see.
It better be. It
It
has
has
to.
to
I
be.
want it to be.
Let's find out.
It's January Kamelkovich. is
Yeah.
her-
I'm gonna click this name here and
January
see.
Kristen Jones is her full name.
Man, you name kids. You see April, sometimes May. But you don't see a lot of.
Not a lot of
Even a couple of Septembers. You don't see a lot of Januaries.
Yeah, not a lot of Januaries. June, very popular.
Yeah, June's a good one. I like June. June's a nice month too.
Augustus. Do you count Augustus as
I think it goes the other
better.
way.
Do we know some Augustuses besides
Gloop.
Bloop?
I like where we went. That's good.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so do we have any other examples though of like a thing that we were told was shit and then it exceeds it rose above?
Okay, so we talked a lot about this in our Rotten Tomato score episode where
Yeah.
we just sat and talked about low scores.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is I feel like a lot of times when the scores are supremely low, they're not correct. That is just an incorrect score because it's too low. Because any movie is going to find some audience, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So there's going to be some people out there. Even if there's only 100 people in the world, there's going to be 100 people in the world for whom RoboCop 3 is their favorite movie, like
Mhm.
their favorite. And so, like my example back then was The Postman, right? The Kevin Costner, The Postman, which was at 8 or 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, that just doesn't work. It's wrong. That's like you can't say that it's one of the worst movies ever made. I like that movie.
I like that movie a lot. I'm with you on that, and I know that we want to do it here, but I also know that it's like pushing 4 hours. That movie
It's only 3. It's 3 hours long.
is it? It's only 3.
It's just the 3.
Yeah, just the. So wait, so what we've done here is we made it seem less long than it is. So now we are okay watching it, right? Dunaway, you're all set for 3 hours.
I've told you I could do 3-hour movies. We just have to know in advance. You can't drop a 3-hour movie at the beginning of the week and go, guess what?
Right.
Suck it,
So we
sucker.
can't say, we decided we're not going to watch The Dead Zone. We're going to slot in The Postman on Thursday. Go for
Yeah,
it.
you can't do that. No. But yeah, but long as if I know by Monday, it's all good. I'll find a way.
You'll find Dunaway and Life
Find a way.
finds a way.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, good. Any other thoughts on RoboCop 3?
We didn't talk a lot about the kid, and she's a very important part in this movie. And I'm assuming that she spends most of her life living in those ducks.
Very
even
important part or very irritating part? Which do you mean?
I think it's a very important part because is a facet of RoboCop's growth, maybe, because up until this point he's still kind of a vigilante, looking for even though he's a cop dutifully, but he keeps going rogue, right? He's a rogue cop. He goes off and does what he wants to. Here he kind of goes, oh, I've got some responsibilities finally. Even though I let Lewis die, I've got to, he doesn't even tell the little girl that the parents are dead. So he had a little turn there. I think RoboCop had a little turn.
He may have had a little turn. I think the kid is annoying. I'll just say it. I don't mind saying it.
I mean, that's the point, right? The kid's supposed to be constantly getting in situations that you have to save them from, right? It's
has to be precocious, but also has to be just clumsy enough to need rescuing. Basically, is the trope.
Well, and also needs to be a computer genius, which they're like. At some point, I'm like, wait a minute, how could she hack the two Otomos? I don't think their code would be like anything she could understand.
Right. Remote connection, everything. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Dumb. I'm just going to say it's dumb.
I didn't think it was dumb. I kind of, like I said.
Yeah, but you also it's a Unix system in Jurassic Park, don't you? You're into that.
Of course. It's what makes the movie unique.
Yeah, having precocious kids knowing computers while adults have no idea.
Okay, so we talk about this lots of times. It's like your good guy is only as good as the bad guy is bad. And so sometimes characters around them make them better. I mean, I take like The Walking Dead. If Carl wasn't such an annoying little brat shit that constantly gets lost, would it be as good? Would our other characters be as good?
Yeah, I think so. That's why they killed him. They killed that character.
But how many seasons did they do it before they finally killed him? When we were begging for it, please kill Carl.
I don't remember. I don't even think
the kid's a long time.
I don't even think the kid's a bad actor. He just was always getting everybody in trouble. Like,
that was the idea. That's what elevates the other characters. You have to have that. You have to have that. And I think this character plays that well, and also kind of saves themselves from time to time. And you can kind of see it. It's kind of, boy, the character really reminded me like of the kid from Mad Max, though. The wild kid.
Yeah.
What was his name? What's the wild kid's name? Why am I blanking on that?
But
Scott, why don't you know?
Very similar thing with the long hair.
I don't know his name. Yes. You're talking about from Road Warrior, the one that threw the
feral kid.
The feral kid.
Yeah. That's it, feral kid. They called it feral. I think they called the character feral kid. I think
maybe they just called him feral. I don't know. But he's the one that threw the boomerang and cut the dude's head off or fingers off, rather.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. These kids are a product of the current situation. So I mean, I liked it. But you're right. Character's annoying, but that's intentional.
Yeah, you think that's
the first time that I saw Remy Ryan on the screen, the little girl, I thought she looked a lot like Anne Ramsey from Thrown Mama from the Train.
Oh, weird.
So you're saying Remy doesn't have any friends? I got you. Okay.
There's a very similar quality there, and I can't put my finger on what it is, but
she almost has jowls, which is maybe unfortunate for a younger child, but
that might be it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I could have done
You found time to be annoyed by Nico's character when Stephen Root was playing Kuntz the way he was.
Oh, he was annoying too. He was annoying too. This is probably my least favorite Stephen Root role.
Yeah.
Like
he plays dirty.
And this has to be his first or really early in his career, right? Like
I think he'd been doing stuff, but like things.
He was definitely doing stuff at the time.
I guess we actually even saw him before this in Black Rain with Michael Douglas, Crocodile Dundee 2, Monkey Shines.
And I love Stephen Root, so don't get me wrong, but But here, I mean, I know what they were going for. You were kind of never supposed to like the character because he's going to turn, and that's fine. But man,
And he's a
I was
busy
like,
guy. He has so much stuff in his
Yeah,
freaking IMDb. Good Lord.
He's got a great agent.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. His first movie, Crocodile Dundee 2. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
It says DEA agent, DEA agent, and then in parentheses, toilet. What does that mean?
he must have been on the toilet
must-
at some point in time, right? He must have was trying to take a poop.
Man, 3 Film Sack movies in a row. Well, did we do Croc 2? I don't remember if we did Dundee 2 or if we just did one.
Those blend together.
I know.
I'm not going to go out on a
Which
limb
one
and
is-
Yeah, you're not wrong. But anyway,
starts in New York, ends in Australia, starts in Australia, ends in New York. I don't know. I honestly can't remember.
shrimps on Barbies, all that shit. Anyway,
Right, exactly. That's not a knife. That is a knife. What is it?
if we've seen it, then that makes his first 3 movies are all movies we've done on Film Sack. That's fun.
Did we talk about the Third Reich at all? Did we talk about John Castle?
Oh, yeah. You mean the
actor?
Steve Martin as a Bond villain? Yeah.
Yeah. Very Bond villain, right? Very much
Yes.
so.
Like
Yeah.
almost too good for this film, but also not nearly good enough for any film. But somewhere
But
between the two.
Part
Simultaneously.
of the most hilarious, which Ibbott addressed in his song, which is that pink Cadillac. I mean, I could not stop laughing at that. And I'm like, at first, I was like, they don't mean for me to laugh at this. Yes, they do mean for me to laugh at this because it's a pink Cadillac and is slowly being just piece by piece until it, I almost expected RoboCop to start running like at some
Right,
point.
exactly. Just like a Yabba Dabba Doo style with his feet on the ground on a car seat still. Yeah.
But the character Paul, whatever his name is, but anyway, he's like the looks on his face that actually elevate it, because up until that point, it's kind of pretty much a flat character, but that part was just really making me laugh. He really understood the assignment, let's put it that way, during that scene.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, but aside from that, I think everybody else put in whatever performance you put in for a RoboCop 3. It's fine.
Yeah, it's what you do. You show up.
Did anything gross you out, Scott? I wrote something down just in case.
For me, it was the idea of using that suit for a third time.
knowing that there's all kinds of
actually
Peter Weller in there.
Yeah, like
It's not
Peter.
the,
You have a decade of Peter Weller stuff in there.
there's a weller of sweat in the bottom of that.
Right. You did watch this, right? You did find a way to.
So the Anchorman giant nose pick up to the knuckle, to the first knuckle.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
That was some real acting too, boy. That was sorry, that wasn't acting. That was real.
That was real finger up the real knuckle or up the real nostril.
Yeah. You reminded me of something I saw this weekend. When I forgot about that. That's a good one, because he had to get in there and knuckle it up in that guy's nostril, and that's gross. That's freaking sick.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
What else? Just some other notes I have, because I know we got clips coming soon. RoboCop shooting and making that gun dance in the air.
Oh my gosh, that was stupid.
That was so weird. It's like, what is why?
I almost thought, so for me, I was like watching, I go, okay, this ninja thing where he jumps in the air, grabs the gun, comes down, shoots 2 dudes, then his face gets dislodged. Like, that was all very weird. And I thought, well, this is not going to get any more ridiculous than that. And then the dancing gun thing, I was like, that is so stupid. That is not how physics work. That is not a special skill of RoboCop's. That is a thing you thought of in the moment, and I hate it.
I have now.
Oh, go ahead.
My correction. I've now waited long enough for someone to send Scott an angry message. So now I just want to correct previous mentions in the show.
Go ahead.
Of the Pepto-Bismol Lincoln Continental, not a Cadillac.
Oh.
It was a Lincoln Continental.
I thought it was.
Wait. So my whole song completely.
I didn't want to bring.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to bring that up. We actually had a Lincoln Continental, and I recognized it.
Oh man, that's funny. I thought it was a pink Cadillac. I'm with y'all.
Yeah, they're actually pretty similar cars. Like I'm trying to think of the Cadillac model that's kind of like this, and like currently it's the CTS is the car that is kind of like a Lincoln Continental, but back in the day there was a different car in the 70s. But anyway, it's a 77 Lincoln Continental Mark V, and boy does it look like it was poured out of a Pepto bottle.
Wow.
Yeah, that one does. We actually had one of these growing up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's it was super comfy.
So like a Mary Kay card type thing,
It
or
was a boat. No, we didn't have the pink one. They
Oh,
sold it
okay.
in other colors besides pink, Scott.
well, I don't know.
Pimp pink.
I know. I thought maybe it was like some kind of specialized something, you know. But
No, no, but
we knew people that had those though. The Mary Kay
Yeah.
people had, you know, they would
Oh,
win
yeah.
the Cadillac or whatever.
I just saw one recently, Scott. It was a Mercedes Benz.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
With the Mary Kay treatment.
So they're still that's a thing still. They pink
yeah.
cars to whoever's winning that month or whatever they do.
Yeah.
I don't understand that culture. And I live in the land of multi-level marketing, and I understand none of it.
Yeah, we had the white one. We did not have pink. Sorry, Scott.
No, white's good. You want white, especially in the
Yeah.
South. That'll reflect the sun and the heat, and you don't want to soak it
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
These are all smart
I remember
moves.
looking out that little black back oval window, just riding down the road. That was a lot of fun. Pretending that I was controlling some kind of remote control motorcycle or something, jumping over ditches. Just me.
Yeah. Well, no. I used to do it. Let me ask you this: is it like this? Because when I was a kid, and we would take long road trips to Lake Powell or wherever, I would sit and I would stare outside, and what I would picture is somebody almost like they have the power of flight or super speed, but they can't control it. And I would
Right.
picture them slamming into that billboard and then crashing into those rocks, but they're not stopping. It's like very much like how do you stop Superman after he's wiped out, sort of thing. So
Right.
they're just smearing into cars, and we pull up to a gas station, and it just blows through the tanks and explodes the entire station. And then just like in my little imagination, this was constantly happening on road trips. So
Yeah, it is.
So you and I are not that different, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I always imagine jumps. Like whenever you go past an
Yeah.
overpass, I always imagine cars hitting it sideways and jumping.
Pausing and then
Yeah.
saying, "Well,
I
the
was-
Duke boys are going to get through this one," and then
Yeah, like I said, I was driving a little remote control car in my mind and doing the same thing, taking jumps, weaving in and out of light poles.
yeah. See, that's a I don't know what that
A
is.
human thing.
It's a weird
Right.
human, but maybe it's also we're weird. I don't know.
I don't know.
I've come to
weird.
find a lot of my brain makes no sense. It's just sitting there being stupid, you know.
I know
Well, anyway,
my brain is usually doing RoboCop shit where I like go to recharge and I just sit there and be sad about stuff until I suddenly just freak out. I gotta go. And I
mhm.
stand up and I walk out, storm out, and throw the jetpack off, do the little shoulder shrug.
You know what I just
I'd be so
realized?
pissed if I worked like 30 minutes to try to get that damn thing on, and then he just goes, "I'm out."
Yeah,
Shrugs it off.
yeah. I'd be mad too. Those guys worked really hard on that.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm out of here.
My favorite
RoboCop,
credit,
go.
I forgot to mention this, my favorite credit in the entire thing is Jeff Garland. We've talked about Jeff Garland's role, but his credit is Donut Jerk.
Donut jerk. Yeah. Like a soda jerk, donut jerk.
That's amazing. I love that.
I thought he was a donut jerk, like he wasn't sharing his donuts.
Well, yeah, that's what a normal,
Like he insulted the robber. That's why he's a jerk.
Yeah.
I don't trust anybody who doesn't share their donuts. F those guys.
Yeah. A jerk.
All right, let's get to our clippies today. We have some clips. These are not Microsoft clippies. These are clips, audio clips. And they're
It
pretty.
sounds like you're trying to play audio clips.
Can I help you do that? No. All right, so I'm going to play some of these. Here's the TV. I said what the TV said.
Is it true what the TV said?
Don't listen to what the TV says.
That's some good advice. Don't listen
Yeah,
to what the
don't-
TV said.
So true.
Yeah. Don't listen to what the TV says. Listen to the wrecking ball about to come through the wall. That's what you want to listen
That's
to.
right.
Yeah, that whole thing, that whole scene. It's like they're living this perfect, idyllic middle class life, and then suddenly all
That was
goes
neat.
to hell.
I thought that was cool that they kind of like they went from this commercial
Mhm.
of how things could be, just selling it to us. Then they went to the news, which kind of gave us a little bit of reality, but it still had a separation. And then the nuclear family that was there, and then the wrecking ball, and then it all kicked off.
Oh, right.
That was actually kinda
And the
smart,
reporter,
was-
the completely unrealistic idea that a reporter would actually get up because they know they're reading bullshit and leave.
Right.
No one does
I
that.
think that's actually in the comic too. I think, yeah. So I think
Oh,
that was
really?
probably written from the script.
I should
you
go
can
back.
blame
I should seek those out. I really like his writing.
Yeah.
Could probably enjoy
They're
them.
not bad. They're okay if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Here's one about Oh, it's what's his name coming back? Ed 209. Good stuff with Ed 209.
You have 20 seconds to comply.
Yeah, that's right.
This may be too long. Maybe we need to shorten the countdown.
Maybe if it was 10, this girl couldn't hack me quick enough.
I love when he looks down, like, "What you doing down there, kid?"
Yeah, I know. Like he has to turn his head to look. Oh my gosh.
Oh right, yes.
Yeah.
That's such a movie only trope.
Yeah.
It never happens in real life that like a cashier at the grocery store is like, okay, that's gonna be $37.22. You have 10 seconds to pay me. 9, 8. Like it never. Why? Who programmed in that countdown? Why they why?
I love that though. I love the idea of somebody at a grocery store doing that. I'm going to think about that next time I go shopping. All right, here's Stephen Root and CCH Pounder, the burger, doing their thing.
Get out of here! No, there'll be a few more minutes. All we gotta do is figure out how to get that door open. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
You knew he was
Who's running this news radio station anyway?
That's right. You knew he was going to turn, though. You just feel it.
That's a mighty fine door picking.
Yeah, that's a mighty fine picking and a singing. All right.
Oh, my goodness. That was a "Oh, brother, where art thou" reference.
Yeah, dude. He's amazing in that. He's one of my favorite bits, except he drops a big old N-word in it. But what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here is, what is this? It looks expensive.
It looks expensive.
Yeah. CCH Pounder knows when things look expensive.
We said that a lot. That's why you would get things. It looks expensive. I've heard that line a lot in movies from this era.
Here's a very loud "Nobody Move." I really enjoyed it.
Nobody move!
I like that guy a lot.
Nobody move! Pretty good.
Something about him. I think they're trying to channel those psychos that ran around with Red from that 70s show in the first movie. The one that got hit by the car and he was all oily. Guy from
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
From ER, yeah.
Yeah,
Dr.
the ER guy.
Romano.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they're trying to like bring some of that back. That guy was pretty good.
Nobody move!
Yeah.
All right. No one says this anymore.
No shit, Sherlock.
No one says no shit Sherlock anymore,
no.
do they?
I took notice. I was like, oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
I should use that again.
It was really common for a long time.
It really was. Yeah.
Fell out of
That
favor.
and no duh.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you have
Should
to
bring
say
both of those back.
Now we have to say Riz or some shit.
Riz. Skibbity toilet.
Yeah, skibbity toilet Riz. All right, here's Gander versus Gratitude.
What the hell is this, fellas, huh? You give a broad a badge and she gets delusions of gander, huh?
It's grandeur, dumb shit.
That's the rich guy who got hit in his retro modern car.
Yeah, but what was that accent we were affecting there?
Yeah,
it's Kyle
Jersey,
Mooney's,
right?
It's totally Kyle Mooney from SNL.
Terrible.
Hate it.
Enjoys the accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate it. All right, here's Seinfeld guy. What was the name of his company that George worked for? Something Finishing.
Oh yeah,
something machine.
It wasn't Mandalay. I know that, but I can't remember.
Yeah, it was post Yankees. Anyway, here's him talking.
New guy is making me nervous.
All right, new guy's making me nervous. Excellent. Let's see. This is good.
Shit, we're all gonna die.
That is a great line.
Shit,
I thought of you, Scott.
It's the die part.
He's
That's
saying what we're all
everybody
thinking.
else. Like, I'm gonna die, but no, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, he's the guy with the hat. That also was gross when you made the kid wear his hat. I went, you know how gross that hat is. Don't put that on that kid.
Yeah.
He just gave that kid 2 weeks of lice. Here comes Timu RoboCop.
You called for backup?
It's like, oh, you're not Peter.
Yeah.
You're not Peter
He
Weller.
wasn't even trying, was he?
Mm-mm.
I mean, he doesn't have to have that much. He doesn't say very much. I definitely feel like I'm pretty sure those people owned the rights to everything Peter Weller had said in the movie up until that. Just put it in there. Just reuse it.
Yeah, repurpose
I would have
it.
never noticed.
By the way, I've been doing a thing this episode that I've tried really hard not to do, and so far I've succeeded. So I'd just like to pat myself on the back for not calling him Peter Murphy multiple times.
Peter Murphy. Interesting.
Because Peter Murphy's one of my favorite singers, songwriter, Bauhaus, all that stuff. Love that guy. But because Peter Weller played Officer Murphy, I get the Peter and the Murphy, and I do it all the time. So So no one would even know if I didn't bring this up, but I just want people to know how much that is a struggle for me. And today I accomplished my goal and did not call him Peter Murphy. Thank you.
Well done, sir. I appreciate your effort.
You will survive. I love that guy. All right.
Yeah, for me, it's I want to call Jill Hennessy Jordan Hennessy because her name is Jordan and Crossing Jordan.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't stop myself. My brain thinks that's Jordan Hennessy.
Yeah. She was so when she started on Law and Order back prior to all this, well, after this and then Law and Order after this. Anyway, she was great on there. One of the best assistant DA characters they ever had on that show. And that show was famous for never keeping anyone around too long. Like the cast was always shifting and, new cops, new lawyers, new DA, all that kind of stuff. But when she left, that one actually stung. She was so good on there. Really good. It's good in here too.
I promise you, before we all die, we will see Jill Hennessy again on Exit Wounds. We will eventually sack Exit Wounds.
All right.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay.
Here's Sweet and Exit Wounds, shooting and death sound. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I swear they stole the like a lot of the punk stuff sounds like they stole that from the Gremlins. I was like, did you guys break into the Gremlins?
They were a very
vault.
Yeah, and then when they had them talk, they had like weird voice modulation to make them sound. Well, here's one right here. It's this is where I thought they said Spiderville. Obviously, it was Splatterville, but here's what they said.
Spiderville's ours.
It sounds like Spiderville.
Oh, it
Spiderville's
does sound like
ours.
Spiderville. Wow.
Spiderville's ours.
Not according.
But you hear that
I
voice?
gotta
Like
say-
they tweak it. It's not normal. It's like I can't.
Voice modulated or something
Yeah.
weird.
I usually give the closed caption in a lot of these shit because sometimes they're really bad closed captioning. This person was picking out words I had no clue about. So whoever did the closed caption for this, they did a fantastic job.
And everybody watched it with the subtitles on, right?
No,
Everybody?
I didn't.
Not until the street punks came along, and I was like, okay, I need.
I never did. So
It was the fastest I've turned on subtitles in a long time because I just could not understand anything being said, any dialogue at the beginning of this movie.
it was pretty gibberishy for sure, but I never did it. I think I thought about it, and then I saw subtitles because Mako was talking, and I went, oh, and then I went, oh, I forgot. Okay, then I guess I'm just not going to do it. I just never did it.
I'm gonna wing it. I'm winging it.
Yeah, I winged it.
So the trivia claims that the Japanese was actual gibberish. It was not Japanese.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the trivia claim. I can't verify. But
Well, I have let me play the clip of him talking. It's down here further. I can't find it. All right. Well, I guess we'll get to it. But at some point, I have him talking. We'll see if we can decipher that thing. All right. Not tonight.
Not tonight, he don't.
Yeah. See what I mean with the voices?
Not tonight, he don't.
Almost
What's
like
that?
Not tonight, he don't.
like what they would do with Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
Or-
they definitely did some voice modulation.
Yeah.
or like the bad guys in G.I. Joe cartoon.
Yeah. Yes.
Cartoon.
A little bit of Destro there, right? Like the way Destro had. Yeah, Destro had a weird voice.
Don't you take that, don't you dirty sully my Destro.
I love
voice
Destro.
act.
Don't get me wrong. He's awesome. But it's that same effect,
Yeah.
RoboCop's fine.
I'm fine, Anne. Thank you for asking.
I don't like the way he said Anne. Listen to that again.
I'm fine, Anne.
I don't like that.
I think I look through his data banks, right? Like, and
I know where to put commas and emphasis.
yeah, right.
All right, here's Mako. I found it. Here's him talking. So that's just nonsense?
According to the trivia, where
It
we
sounded
have
real.
to we have to accept trivia isn't always correct, but they
Right.
claim it's gibberish.
All right.
God, it feels like something that just as a Japanese actor or Asian actor, he'd be like, I am not going to just spout gibberish. That's so offensive. But
Yeah.
really not.
Or also, I think he is legitimately Japanese raised and knows, spoke English but
Yeah,
spoke Japanese. I think he's not like James Hong where he was born in Minnesota or something.
Right, exactly.
It looks like Mako lived his whole life in California. He was born in Japan, brought to the United States as a small child.
As a child,
and
okay.
lived
Maybe he
his whole
didn't.
life in California, so he may not actually know Japanese.
So he may be like he's just like James Hong. They're one of those. I mean, I loved him in everything, but mainly it was because he just had that cool accent and voice. I didn't know where he was actually from. All right, might have been then. Rip Torn in the house.
I realize we've had certain setbacks, but you've got my word. We've done everything humanly possible to get Delta City back on schedule.
Gosh, I could listen to him all day.
Humanly possible.
I just love him.
Yeah.
Oh, here he is again yelling at Johnson.
Knock it off, Johnson.
I love it.
I think please save that in the permanent folder of clips.
It's a
audio
keeper
for all your shows.
Definitely a keeper. Rip Torn going hard.
It's turning into a war zone.
Man, he's really going hard there. Yeah. Whitford shows up.
The police had a little problem with the unit, sir. I'm dealing with it personally.
It's basically his character from West Wing.
Yeah, for everything.
It's so good.
Is what he does.
Weasley,
I think this is this Rip Torn again?
Get the hell out of here, all of you!
Well, man,
you was having a moment with Rip Torn, weren't you? It's great. Everything he says,
love it.
Gold.
He made an amazing little gift face that I captured. He's just amazing. I love him. Here is the yeah guy in RoboCop 3. Yeah. So that was weird.
Man.
That was weird.
Where's the hype man?
What was the deal there? It was like they were showing. I don't know if they were just saying, "Oh, he's a cross-dresser and he's crazy and he's part of the splatter gang or whatever."
Yeah, he's definitely. It's like we need you to act like you're drugged up, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
Very
but he's the
weird.
hype man. He's definitely the hype man.
Here is Jill Hennessy.
Offhand, I'd say the only reason he'd disobey an order is if he didn't agree with it.
She looked like 28 or something young. She's very young.
Yeah.
What a child. The movie broke the cardinal rule. As much as I liked it more than 2, they broke the cardinal rule. I hate this. Here it is.
Robo, are you okay?
Don't call him Robo.
Oh, no.
Even he did, but at least he was nice about it. He's like, call me Murphy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not. I hate that. They did it in the video game they put out last year, which was great, by the way. The RoboCop game was awesome, but they kept saying, "Hey, Robo, you want it?" I'm like, stop it. Quit calling him that.
It's familiar.
You call him Murphy. It's cooler. Just say Murphy. Anyway, how did they? Oh, this is what they thought phones would do in the future when you hang up on your call.
Call complete.
Call complete. Call
complete.
Sounds like Gorf level.
It is like Gorf. I couldn't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
I struggled all day yesterday going, what does that sound like? It's so familiar.
Yeah, this is totally Gorf.
Oh my gosh, Gorf. We got to do Gorf, Dunaway.
We're doing it.
Here's the thing I played earlier.
Kiss my freckled butt.
Yeah, do that. Got a couple more here. Here's someone yelling at Bertha.
Bertha, are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Love him. He's been in so many things.
I've had that mole on my back ever since I was.
Those are some amazing episodes, by the way.
They really
I love
are.
him and Malcolm in the Middle too. He's so good there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His Reese's.
It's just a unique face. And I'm telling you, watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and just enjoy his devil moment. It's really good. Here's a poetic moment.
If you remember them, they're never really gone.
Shut up, RoboCop.
Oh. But by the way, they are really dead.
Yeah,
but they're totally
They're
dead.
so totally dead.
Yeah, why? It's not in RoboCop's character to suddenly care about the feelings of a child. I don't get it.
No, but
And
also,
well, he was constantly. I thought it was actually pretty good because, he kept referencing back in when he's charging up, when all of his memory circuits get activated apparently, and so he's referencing back to his wife constantly, and there's a little bit of reference back to his kid. It happens on his birthday, right? Is that he gets killed? I can't remember. Anyway, so I was like, oh, so he's finally connecting with a kid, and I thought it was important why the kid was here.
I just think it's not a thing RoboCop would do and sound like him going,
If you remember them.
I mean, it's like a little baby story at bed. Like, if you remember them.
That was the thing, and he hadn't really done that before. It was a softer, gentler RoboCop. And the only thing that I was thinking was, oh, he's totally going to get her hair tangled up in his robotic hand, and it's going to be bad. He's going to don't stop petting her.
Then he'll start spinning and thinking he's untangling it. It'll get worse.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Call me Murphy.
I've pulled your scalp off. Forget everything I said. Your parents are dead. Bye. Here's robot business relationships.
It is difficult for me to continue our business relationship.
I hated that because, first of all, Gorf is hell. Very Gorf.
Gorf, yeah.
That's all I can hear now. But yesterday, seriously, I was pulling my freaking face apart trying to figure out where that sound came from. But him, if he's on video call and you've done these before and they had voices, why is that happening? Was it translation? But because his lips matched.
They hadn't shown him personally doing it. They had showed the character before talking to other people. I don't know why he had.
Well, no, they showed him on the big screen the one time.
Yeah,
he's
but
speaking Japanese.
He wasn't handling it. He wasn't in charge of the Zoom meeting that day. This was his own personal Zoom meeting, his own personal settings.
I see.
Yeah.
I like
Sure.
how you've explained it away. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well done there. We got one final clip. It's about elevator door sticking.
Elevator door sticks.
Yeah, elevator door sticks.
Not a problem.
Yeah, and then we see I love how we saw the elevator door sticking immediately.
Yeah.
Like that's that thing in movies. Like you got to deliver if you're going to do that, and movies don't always do that. This movie actually is aware of you as a viewer, and I appreciated it.
Yeah, I like that too. All right, here is our chance for some real fun. It's time for the Film Sack checklist. Take some ideas from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Check. Peter Weller chin is not the same as full Peter Weller. Check. How hard can a hard R rating be? Check. Let's get to those Star Trek connections. I only know of one, Randy, but let's see if I'm right, and I'm sure there's more. But
there were a bunch. Robert Dupuis, who played Sergeant Reed in this movie, was in an episode of Deep Space Nine. We talked about Stephen Koontz. I'm sorry, Stephen Root. See, you got me doing it.
Yep.
You got me mixing the characters. We've talked about Stephen Root before. Like Stephen Root had one small role in The Next Generation, so he's forever a Star Trek connection.
Yeah, he's the only one I know.
The person I wanted to focus on this week is our director, Fred Decker.
Oh,
Fred Decker, who I'm unfamiliar with his work. He produced 21 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh, wow.
And he got writer credits on 3 of those. Those are called The Andorian Incident, Sleeping Dogs, and an episode called Vox Sola. And Fred Decker not only wrote Vox Sola, he wrote Vox Sola exclusively. He was the sole credited writer and producer for that episode.
Wow.
Do you remember Monster Squad? We watched that here, right?
Did we? I don't remember.
Oh, or did we watch that for recommendals? I can never remember anymore.
I did
I'm pretty sure we watched it here, but yeah, he's done some Tales from the Crypt, and he directed and I think co-wrote the Monster Squad. He might write the whole thing, but also did Night of the Creeps and stuff. So yeah, familiar with Fred Decker.
He was an episode of Tales of the Crypt, or like you said, Tales from the Crypt. The last RoboCop,
biggest thing.
RoboCop 3 is the last feature he made. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
He wrote a lot of stuff.
Monster Squad was our Halloween Day movie in 2015 on Film Sack.
Yeah. Says here in 2018 he wrote The Predator, the not so good Predator reboot. That's the one Shane Black directed, I think, right? Yeah, that's right.
You are correct.
Yeah, there it is. Shane Black directed it. 2018 is not good. Right. I don't know if I blame Fred Decker, but
But we gotta put Night of the Creeps on here eventually.
I'd watch that. Sure.
Yeah.
That's widely people like it, right? That's like a
people definitely have feelings about it. How about that?
Okay, I'll bet we do too when we get there. Nicely done. Soundtrack grade to give this an O for okay. It's fine.
Okay.
It's not great. Okay. I don't really remember it. It does. It evokes.
It's rehash of from the previous stuff, right? They just brought it back.
Yeah, his theme keeps coming back, and that's the stronger parts when it like was fighting stuff. But when he's like being all quiet and chilling with the girl telling her stories or whatever, it's not very good. So yeah, it gets an okay from me. It's an okay from me.
Wow, it's a clip I haven't heard in forever.
It's been a while.
That impersonation I haven't heard forever.
Yeah,
right. No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah. Let's get to the social posts. This is where you guys sum it up, 280 characters or less. And let's start this week with Randy.
A RoboCop 3 haiku. Mechanized violence. A cameraman shoots, but is betrayed by the script.
Oh, man. That's a deep.
Wow.
That's a deep one. But all I heard was gibberish because there's no real Japanese in this episode.
Yeah.
The throwback, everybody. Let's go over down to Brian Dunaway and see what he has to say.
RoboCop 3. You got an alien cop. You got a ghost cop. You got a new guy is making me nervous cop, and you got a sewer water faceplant cop. Hashtag officer down.
Oh, officer.
Was that? I tried not to laugh. I really tried not to laugh when he was holding Lewis in his arms and she slips away. By the way, he said it won't hurt for long. That also made me start to chuckle.
Yeah.
But when she actually passed away and he goes, officer down, I was like,
it was. I know. I couldn't help it either. It was all that stuff was like making me laugh, and also like later on when they had his memory pop up on the screen of her and her request and it. All that. That's a sort of what it worked okay, but would have worked a lot better if the moment they recorded wasn't so silly.
There's something to fight for. You got to have something to fight.
Yeah, I guess so. Brian Nibbit, it's now down to you, sir.
RoboCop 3, sponsored by Media Break. Give us 3 minutes and we'll give you the first 3 minutes of this 8-minute bulletin about OCP.
Wow. You're down with OCP?
No idea why their tagline was, give us 3 minutes and we'll give you the world, when it wasn't a 3-minute show. It was a 30-minute news program, and none of their stories took less than 8 minutes.
And why wasn't it more Kurt Loder or something? They should have made it more like that.
Yeah, something more like Hair's Future TV. The first movie did a really good job of that.
Yeah,
this one didn't so much.
Totally.
Like they brought back the one clip of the guy saying he'd do that for $1, but that was just like that was fan service. Anyway, let's move on to the alternate titles. These were just handed to me, and we got on this list RoboCop Out, which I think the rated R thing is, or Opera Murphy Comes Clean. I don't know what that even means. I wrote that late. Let's get to the. I totally was. Let's get to the emails, texts, and calls this week. We actually have one of each, so we're giving everybody a little slot here. Filmsack@gmail.com.
Did you say texts and calls?
Texts and
Only
calls.
called from Texas.
That's right. Texas calls and Oklahoma emails. That's it. Filmsack@gmail.com is the place. We got somebody named CK wrote in, says the sound that Scar faces. He's talking about Scarface facing. Anyway, in Scarface. He just says it funny. The sound that Scarface's character was making when he was snorting too much coke is exactly the sound that would happen with someone who was doing that amount of coke. I also love how Spellcheck thinks that I'm talking about Coca-Cola. Apparently, it was making him rewrite it.
Somebody has some experience.
Yeah.
He seems to know his stuff. Cocaine disintegrates the lining of the nose, making it start to come off in scaly strips. Am I making this better for you? He says his final note here is, in the most extreme of examples, the nose can literally disappear, or the nasal cavities can become one cavity, allowing a person to literally literally be able to fluster nostrils. Not sure what that means.
Right.
Fluster them?
Fluster
their
nostrils?
He must have typed flush there, but he wrote fluster.
Fluster.
F-L-U-S-T-E-R. I don't know why. It sounds like he was
paradise.
Guy was thumbing it in his phone and probably messed up. But anyway, I don't want any of that. You guys have seen, who's the comedian with the nose all mushed up?
Artie Lang.
Artie Lang. Yeah. It's really bad, man. The whole thing collapsed on him, basically.
Oh, God.
Here is a text from Chris. This came to 801-471-0462. And Chris says, any list that doesn't have Jamie Lee Curtis on it is bullshit. To prove it to you, watch the movie Virus. Now, he's talking about our special episode about action women movies.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I haven't seen Virus. Maybe this worked better as a recommendation. Maybe we should see Virus.
Maybe, yeah. Let's add that to the list. I do like the, her stuff in Halloween was very action-y, and she's great.
Yeah, I like her. Okay, here you go. Virus, 1999. Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Sutherland, rest his soul, and William Baldwin.
Yes.
One of the Baldwins. Let's see who else is in this. Anyone we know? Nope, not really. This looks bad and great. We should do it.
I'm down with it. What was that Jamie Lee Curtis movie? What's about the same time? What year was this?
99.
99. Was that about the same time she did the cop movie she did? That was really watch that too. Blue Shield?
Blue Steel?
Blue Steel. I think you're right. I think this Blue Steel. Was that? Blue Steel.
Well, I don't remember.
Yeah. But it's not. Yeah, you always ends up bringing up. Always ends up bringing what's his face up instead.
Blue Steel.
Making the Blue Steel the character.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller.
Right, you think of Zoolander, right?
Yeah, Zoolander. That's the character name.
I don't see anything on
Jamie
her.
Curtis, Ron Silver, Clancy Brown, Louise Fletcher.
Was this later or before that?
No, 1990. Before.
Yeah, this is actually
90. Okay.
Older than I thought. Okay.
Oh, Blue Steel.
But we need to watch both of those. We need some more Jamie Lee Curtis in our life. We haven't had any since True Lies, right? Is that right?
Yeah. Right? We didn't watch Everything Everywhere All at Once on here, did we?
No.
Love that movie.
Yeah, I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, this one actually is pretty well liked. Blue Steel. 75% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched some of it, and I find that interesting.
Is it a little cheesy?
I remember it being very cheesy, but maybe I'm remembering incorrectly.
Well, maybe only 4 people watched it for Rotten Tomatoes and 3 people liked it.
That's it.
This is a great, the extended cast, crazy here. We got Sizemore. You mentioned a bunch of them, but like Richard Jenkins is in this. Kevin Dunn, love him. You mentioned Clancy Brown and Ron Silver. It touches himself. He turns into a purple goo. Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, not going to use this for a recommendal, but going to recommend it right now because at the end of the month, which is in 4 days, or 3 days, Glass, the third part
movie.
of the Unbreakable trilogy, leaves Netflix. And
really?
if you've got Max, you can watch Split. No, you can watch Unbreakable, and then Split on Amazon Prime, and then Glass on Netflix.
Interesting. They're doing a tour.
Yeah.
They're doing a
When I was
tour.
resting yesterday, this is what I watched back to back to back. Was all 3 of those.
And did you enjoy it?
I liked it. I liked all 3 of them a lot more as a set than I did individually.
Nah.
Yeah.
I like, but Unbreakable. I can't. This is so freaking good.
It's so good. There's nothing I can't complain about anything with that. And I think Split is better watching it right after Unbreakable, and then they both make Glass a lot better.
I just
I
watched
watch all those together. Glass probably has the most reason to watch the previous 2, but the first 2 you don't have to have. They're kind of good.
No, you don't have to watch Unbreakable for Split.
Yeah. I want to.
I wish we hadn't. We really put too much pressure on M. Night Shyamalan back in the day. Like we could have just seen his movies and liked them or not liked them without being so.
Well,
like,
I think he's. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the problem was he knocked it out of the park so hard and did something nobody else had done with I See Dead People. What's it called? Freaking
The Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
He killed it so hard with that, and it just blew everyone's mind that they were just like, well, now our expectations are way up here for this wonderkin director who's supposed to blow our minds every time, and you can't do that.
He got trapped into this expectation of always a twist, and I ignored it, and I don't recall ever saying.
Dude, I love his
Shyamalan.
movies.
I
not all of them,
stayed
but
with his stuff.
Some are bad.
I love the way he films and paces things, and so I always appreciated that, except for The Village, and I felt really robbed on that because that one felt like a forced twist, but I still enjoyed the movie.
What's the new one where the dad is a serial killer and they try to trap him?
Right, I can't wait to see that.
Trap. Oh, right.
I want to see that. I want to see Trap real bad.
I actually even bought my tickets for that one already. So let's hope I don't get any other infectious diseases and have to cancel another movie.
Big anticipation on this one for a lot of.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing that Thursday. That's right.
Oh, cool! I can't wait to hear about what you think because I'm very curious. Also, I saw a trailer last night for this. Who's the Split guy?
McAvoy.
McAvoy and Scoots McNairy. That's why I was thinking of him. And Mackenzie Phillips. They're in some kind of like thriller. Is that the one? Is it Speak No Evil? No.
That's his new movie.
Hold on. Is that the one? That might be it.
James
Yeah,
McAvoy.
that's it. Mackenzie Davis, James McAvoy, and Scoot
Yeah, I was going to say not Mackenzie Phillips. Mackenzie Davis.
Or Davis. Sorry, did I say Phillips? I meant Davis.
Let's just take this one day at a time. So you'll get the name.
I don't know why these names are so hard today. But anyway, I love everyone I just mentioned. Love these actors. Some of my favorite actors working today. I don't know if I can deal with what this movie is. It looks horrifying, and not in a supernatural way, like in a I'll not look at McAvoy the same after this. I don't know. I can't tell. You might see the trailer and think different, but I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, I can't wait to. I haven't seen the trailer yet, so I'm really interested.
They
in
showed it
checking
before
that out.
Deadpool, and it was a red band one, so it was all full of swears and all that, and yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
You have to check it out.
Not to circle back too much, but man, it's hard to catch Jamie Lee Curtis films streaming. Why are these so hard
really?
to find?
What's the deal with that?
I'm going through a list because we talked about two of them, and both the ones we talked about, the Virus that was recommended and the one that I just recommended with the Blue Steel, both of them are hard to find on streaming unless you want to go like to Tubi or something.
Well, we could do Tubi if we had to. It'd be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Can I search for her?
Yeah, on Just Watch.
I use Real Good now. Can I do that there?
Oh, okay.
I think I can.
Yes.
Let's see.
Should be able to search for an actor and then see everything streaming from them.
Perfect.
Maybe not.
1985. Perfect. Little John Travolta.
Oh, with the weird humping scene where he's humping the air with his.
Yes.
I don't know if I can do it. Okay, for some reason. For some reason, it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't let you do that.
No, it doesn't look like it lets you.
Looks like you're
search
heading
an
back to
actor.
Just
Oh, that's a
Watch,
bummer.
Rick Thorne.
Yeah, maybe Just Watch is going to be the thing. Jamie Lee. I don't see hers working either. Oh no, wait, maybe. No,
Yeah, you just gotta click on the right side. Oh, it worked for me. I can see True Lies, Knives Out, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Scream Queens.
Okay, here we go. I just didn't click on her name in the right place. There we go.
Yeah,
You're
you
right.
can do it on the right side, not on the left.
Well, Real Good needs to be doing that.
Yeah.
Get on that. We know some people there. Make that happen.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they sent us some shirts I forgot about. So
Well, no wonder I don't know them.
Yeah, they are sending new shirts though, so that'll be.
Are
fun.
they really?
Yeah, both of us.
Oh,
I'm
oh that's cool.
I'm
What
excited. Yeah.
I just heard both of us. You know what? Screw you.
Yeah.
Randy, let's out.
Yeah,
Run out of
you
here.
reach
Rip Thorne
out and
Let's
ask us for.
You're back to kiss my ass.
Me and Dunaway are going to get our own swag.
That's right. Get your own shirts. All right. Let's see. It came through the TMS email, so I assume that's why it's exclusive there. Anyway, let's move on to this call. We got a call from Edmonton, and it'll be Mike from there, and I'll let him explain. Here you go.
Hi, this is for Film Sack. It's Michael from Edmonton, and I just need to reach out to you guys, Scott, Brian, and Randy, and just let you know. I know you all be discounting the Russell Crowe Robin Hood movie, but as we all know, the director's cuts are always better for these films. You guys got to give it a chance, man. The music's phenomenal. The acting's really good. Cinematography is phenomenal. It's just, is it a real representation? Absolutely not. But it's a good romp, good time, and an adventure. So, cheers from Canada. Also, Amanda says hi from Vegas. Bye.
All right.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, those guys are great.
I think we should do this. I think we should have a back-to-back 2010 Robin Hood and Prince of Thieves.
And Kevin
Is
Costner.
that what it's called?
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
I do that. 100%.
And then we'll finish up with the trifecta. We'll do Men in Tights. Let's just get it all out of there.
Yeah. Right. All right. Let me.
I lost you on the Men in
No.
Tights.
You made me have to pause and think. Is Men in Tights the kind of comedy we could get away with? Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Only if we watch two Robin Hoods in a row and then finish it off with Men in Tights is the only way you can get away with it.
Yeah, I feel like Men in Tights
Can
might.
we steal from the first two and give to the third one?
A real Robin Hood.
Nicely done. Okay, so the 2010 Robin Hood, there are alternate versions. Let's see if there's a way for us to see the one that's supposed to be good.
MGM Plus subscription, which I occasionally will.
Really?
And that should just be.
I can generally create a new email for that for my.
Yeah, but that shit should be on Prime because Prime now owns them. Amazon owns MGM. They shouldn't have it all separated out. That's stupid.
Got to keep them separated.
All right. So apparently there's, let's see, director's cut contains additional 15 minutes of scenes, more graphic violence, and the following changes. And there's a whole bunch. I don't want to read all these, but there's a ton of changes. And you know what? He's right. Most of the time, Ridley Scott director's cuts are superior to their previous ones. What's the one I love? And my brain just went dead.
Kingdom of Heaven.
Kingdom of Heaven. Thank you. That went from the most mediocre piece of shit I've ever seen to one of the best films ever. It's so good. So maybe he pulled it off here, and I just didn't hear about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I love Russell Crowe, and I love Ridley Scott, and
I like
and Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
I love all of them.
Yeah.
I've added it to our list.
All right, very nice.
Everybody go get your 7-day free trial for MGM Plus.
They also had a new trailer running for the new Gladiator sequel. That looked all right.
I saw that.
Yeah. I think that looks like they're taking it seriously, even though, I mean, it's like, oh, Pedro Pascal again. But Denzel Washington adds some gravitas to things. I don't know. I think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited. It comes out in September, so I guess we'll watch for that. All right. Well, that's going to do it for your calls and all your stuff. Keep that stuff coming. We appreciate it. Also, I want to welcome some brand new patrons because we had a roundtable last week. We didn't have a chance to mention anybody. So they have added up, and we now have the following people who have joined us at patreon.com/filmsack. The names are Chip Brooks, Cosplay Dad, Bradley Dexter, guy named Ron, Travis Seatler, Jay DiStefano, and Stuart Caswell have all joined our Patreon since we last spoke. And that means a lot to us because, we need the support to keep the show on the air. But you guys get no commercials or ads ever. Pre-show content every week. Monthly host specials. I put mine up about Avalon last week. Hope people enjoyed it. Movie-related art print from me in the mail. Other great stuff. Go read all about it at patreon.com/filmsack. Who's next month?
I'm August.
You're August. Awesome.
I'm August. Augustus
Hi, August.
is who I am.
Watch for the Augustus post from Brian.
Right. Movies starring actors and characters named Augustus.
Nice.
That'd be my
Whole subject.
Yeah.
Oh,
whole
quick
subject.
quick note too. When I was talking about it, I wasn't sure on the actual recording, but the Avalon is really hard to find for some reason. Barry Levinson's Avalon, but it is streaming 100% for free on YouTube right now. Like officially, like not somebody's weird cut of it or
And good quality transfer and all that.
all that stuff, like the real deal.
Great.
And I don't know why, but that's where it is. Nobody else has it anywhere on a service. And I would highly recommend checking it out. As I said on that episode, I'll say it here so people who don't currently sub will hear this, but I think I put that movie in the same section as I would put Shawshank Redemption. That's how much I like it.
Interesting.
Anyway.
I always in my head, for no good reason, confuse Avalon with Pleasantville.
Oh,
no good reason.
They're very different movies, but I can see why.
The titles are, very heavenly titles.
Yeah, and they both do have a touch, well, definitely Pleasantville, but they have a touch of what is perfect versus what was real.
Right.
Like what are the legends of what you think things are in life versus what's the reality of what's in life? And there's a bit of that in Avalon, although it's told very straight, very biographical kind of. It's very good though. Can't say enough about it. All right. That'll do it for us. Filmsack.com is our website. And as always, you can email us, filmsack@gmail.com. Keep those texts and voicemails coming as well, 801-471-0462. That'll do it for us. Go get. Leave us reviews where you get podcasts. Oh, our next movie, we didn't talk about it. Totally forgot. What are we doing for?
Okay, hear me out.
Yeah.
Where it's hot action movie summer.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch the Michael Bay masterpiece Transformers, the first one.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go watch it right now. By God.
Couple notes. It's 2 hours 15 minutes till the credits roll. So Dunaway, hold on to your butts.
2 hours is not a problem. It's when you coming at me with like this movie's 3 hours. I'm like, I could have watched 2.
Well, and you probably have it on Blu-ray. So and here's the other note. This thing is streaming right now. It is July 28th. This thing is streaming right now on Peacock and on Paramount.
Peacock.
You can watch this movie right now. I will not guarantee that this movie will be available anywhere in the world in 3 days.
That's weird how these Transformers movies come and go. It's very weird. They pop up, they're there for like 22 days, and then bamf, they're out of there.
They pop up like some kind of transforming movie that just.
I like how you said Banff. Banff.
I may be in the mood for a very specific reason, but
2007 Transformers was one of the highest selling home video films of all time. So I'm hoping that a lot of people out there have the DVD and could just watch it that way or whatever.
Well, I'm going to sell that in my archaeological finds on eBay.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
Big money coming your way, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We'll try to, I guess, you know what? We can post in the Patreon and the Discord once August 1st rolls around. We find out where Transformers is. But right now, it's on Peacock.
All right. Peacock is where we go. And there's no more
Brian's house. Come on over.
No more free cock. Well, that's Brian's house. If you want to go to Brian's house, you get free cock. All right. Well, there you have it. Good luck, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Don't worry, though, if you're thinking to yourselves, I have so much to say about the show, but I don't know where to say it, and it's all positive. Go leave us reviews wherever you get your shows, okay? That's all we ask. That's going to do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
I'm now authorized to be loyal as a puppy.
We'll see you next time.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
You call me RoboCop.
You call me RoboCop.